The story begins with knights surrounding the bandits, preparing to attack. The leader of the bandits then turns to an ordinary-looking boy standing behind the knights and asks if he was the one who found them and what kind of sorcery he used to track them to this place. The boy replies with a single word: comprehension. A few days earlier, before the current events took place, the protagonist wakes up in an unfamiliar place, a strange, glowing jungle. As he stands and looks around his surroundings, he quickly realizes he has been transported to another world. Surprisingly, he adapts to the situation with little hesitation and decides to find a way out of the jungle. As he wonders how to proceed, he senses something behind him. A bear is approaching. Terrified at seeing the creature so close, he panics, wondering what he should do. Should he run or play dead, as fighting it is clearly not an option? Desperately trying to decide what to do, he ends up doing the most ridiculous thing imaginable. He greets the bear with a nervous bonjour. Unsurprisingly, the bear roars in response. But before it can attack, a slime-like creature suddenly leaps onto the bear and completely absorbs it. Shocked by what he's witnessing, he stares in disbelief, and from the looks of it, he believes the creature to be some kind of slime. Watching the bear dissolve completely inside it disgusts him so much that he starts vomiting. Just then, he notices the slime launching itself at him. Fortunately, he manages to dodge just in time. The slime flies past him and instantly melts through a tree behind him. Utterly shaken and confused, he wonders what kind of creature could dissolve a bear without leaving a trace. With questions flooding his mind, he forces himself to calm down and comprehend the situation. Later, as he wanders through the jungle searching for a way out, he notices the glowing isn't everywhere, and some parts of the forest look more normal, which gives him some hope. But after encountering the slime, even worse things happen to him. Like one time he came across a nest of terrifying spiders, which he fortunately survived by using a wooden stick to destroy their nest, and even managed to gather some fruit. But that wasn't the end of it, as shortly after that, he spots what looks like villagers, but they turn out to be savage brutes carrying chunks of human flesh. Thus, he didn't dare approach and quietly slipped away before they could notice him. But it wasn't all bad, as he eventually found a real road, and the sight makes him so happy he tears up. He even carves a commemorative message into a tree, but his joy grows even more when, following the road, he finally arrives at the outskirts of a town. From where he is standing, he can clearly see a castle at the center of the town, which he believes is a classic sight straight out of a fantasy story. He has been wandering alone for so long that he no longer cares what kind of people live here and just wants to meet someone. So he approaches the people guarding the town gates, who appear to be guards in armor, and calls out to them. They respond by raising their spears and speaking in an unfamiliar language. Without warning, they restrain him and throw him straight into a jail cell. This happens so quickly that he is left stunned, and he even tries to tell the guard that he came here looking for protection, but not this kind of protection. However, it appears they don't understand him, nor does he understand them, as they speak in a language unfamiliar to him, which frustrates him even more. Since nothing can be done at this point, he decides to sleep for now, all while thinking about how terrible this journey has been. For starters, he was attacked by a bear out of nowhere, then ambushed by a slime. And just when he thought he had found people who could help him, he gets thrown straight into jail. After these misfortunes pile up one after another, he believes there's nothing worse that can happen. But later, he suddenly wakes up in pain, and as he opens his eyes, he sees a female knight standing in front of him, holding a sword. Surprised, he wonders who she is, but judging by the sword, he assumes she's the one who hit him. She then says something to another knight, but again he doesn't understand the language. After speaking with the other knights, she turns to him and smiles. Seeing this, he wonders if she can understand him, but instead, she strikes him in the stomach with her sheathed sword. As he writhes in pain, she swiftly stuffs him into a sack, which makes him really annoyed, and he calls her a monstrous gorilla while she carries the sack somewhere. A few moments later, he can feel her entering a building, judging by how quiet it has become. Terrified of what's to come, he wonders what the hell is going on and where she's taking him. When the rope tying the sack is finally loosened, he quickly pokes his head out and finds himself inside a church, where another woman is present. The knight then calls the other woman Maya, and tells her that he seems to be awake now. Irritated, he calls the knight a gorilla, only to suddenly realize he can now understand their language. The woman named Maya reassures him, explaining that she's the sister of this place and that they used a possession spell on him. She explains it's a simple spell that allows someone to understand their common tongue by letting a spirit temporarily possess them. Hearing this, the protagonist finds it very similar to Doraemon's translator Jelly. When Maya asks him what he's talking about, he brushes it off and thanks her. Unlike her kind treatment, the knight's brute force approach deeply troubled him. Hearing this, Maya calls the knight Ilias and gives her a stern look, leaving her stunned. He then tells Maya, with a troubled expression, that there are still many things he doesn't understand, and he doubts she'll believe him. But Maya replies that he can tell her everything. It's all right, because she's very good at discerning lies. He finds that really cool, and thinks how convenient such an ability would be. Moved, he asks if he can hug her, to which she responds with a laugh, telling him not to tease an old lady. While the two share this light moment, Ilias cuts in, asking if they can just get started already. Setting that aside, he thinks that the ability to discern lies would have made his life so much easier. Moving on, he informs them that he actually comes from another world and gives his name, though for some reason it isn't shown. Side note, in the entire story, the protagonist's name is never revealed, so instead of constantly calling him the protagonist, I decided to refer to him as Shujinku, which means protagonist in Japanese. Although it's hard to believe, Maya is certain that Shujinku isn't lying. He continues, explaining how difficult it was when he first arrived. Right away he was attacked by a bear and a slime, and genuinely thought he was going to die. Hearing this, Maya grabs his shoulder and seriously asks if he really came from that Black Demon Lord's killer mountain. Confused, he asks what the hell that jumbled up name is, while Maya keeps questioning how he's even alive. She informs that this mountain is so dangerous that even dragons don't dare go near it. Shujinku is shocked to hear there are dragons in this world and quickly adds them to his must-see list. He then tells her it can't be that dangerous. After all, he just saw a bear there. Maya explains that the bear might have been drawn there because it ate rye fruit, which causes creatures to unconsciously wander into a slime nest. Ilias then informs him that the abundant fruit he brought with him is also rye fruit. A cold sweat runs down Shujinku's face as he realizes he ate some of it too. Maya laughs and tells him he just got lucky. His mana level is so low that the fruit's mind control effect barely worked on him. Hearing that, he wonders whether he should feel happy or sad. Speaking of mana, he realizes something odd. He hasn't seen any signs of mana overflow or magical crests on his body. When Maya asks what he's talking about, he replies that this is usually the part where the weak-looking guy actually turns out to be super powerful and secretly hiding his true abilities. Hearing this, Maya gives him a look of pity and says that's impossible for him, as it's her first time seeing someone with such a low mana level. It's so low she honestly feels bad for him. Frustrated, Shujinku thinks he didn't even get a transmigration bonus or anything. As far as he's concerned, his body is at the same level as a bug in this world. That's probably why the slime didn't take him seriously. But instead of being upset, he's actually glad. He believes that safety is more important than some overpowered fantasy. Setting that aside, Ilias says she's surprised he made it to the town at all without any equipment. Shujinku quickly responds that he did have equipment, an exquisite wooden stick he found, which also happened to be his trusted partner. Hearing this, Ilias remembers the stick she found with him and sheepishly apologizes, as she broke it and used it as firewood. When he learns this, he bursts into tears over the loss of his partner and mourns the fact that he now owns nothing. Trying to move the conversation on, Ilias tells him he should be thankful to the gods that he didn't run into any bandits in that mountain. They frequently show up there, and if he'd encountered them, he could have kissed his life goodbye. Learning this, he thanks God that he didn't approach them on the mountain. Hearing this, Ilias pauses, then asks if he really encountered them there. He replies, explaining that he found a cave on the mountain where he saw several grim-looking people, whose faces quite literally screamed bandits. Upon hearing this, she quickly grabs Shujinku by the collar and demands to know where he saw them. As she begins violently shaking him, asking again for their location, he tries to get her to stop. Maya quickly steps in, warning Ilias to let him go or she'll kill him if she keeps going. At this, Ilias releases him and bluntly apologizes. Irritated by her brute behavior, he mentally calls her a monstrous gorilla bitch, feeling this is the closest he's come to death since arriving in this world. Maya sighs and says to Ilias that even if he did see the cave, it's unlikely he remembers the exact location. However, Shujinku responds that he can manage, as he left a mark on a tree. Hearing this, they are so surprised that Maya asks if she can give him a hug, to which he replies that she can, but gently. On the other hand, with this new information, Ilias says she can't afford to stay still. She must quickly assemble a subjugation squad and tells him to lead the way. She then introduces herself as Ilias Ratzel, a knight of the Thai's kingdom who has been ordered to subjugate the mountain bandits. Later, at the mountain, two bandits are guarding the cave's entrance. As one begins to leave, the other asks if it's already time to switch shifts. The first bandit calls him stupid, saying he's just going to pee. With only the long-haired bandit remaining, he mutters that he's craving the body of a voluptuous woman. He complains that he doesn't enjoy only having his way with the merchants they ambush anymore. Just as he says this, a spear flies straight into his face, killing him instantly. The other knight quickly eliminates the bandit who went to pee, then alerts everyone that this one had used detection magic so the rest of the bandits will know they're coming. Hearing this, Shujinku is shocked that the bandits can use magic. However, Ilias declares that it's not a problem, as the cave doesn't seem to have a wide exit, so it should be easy to wipe them out in one sweep. Terrified by her casual tone, Shujinku thinks it's not surprising. After all, she did carry around a grown man like him. But it's not just her. The other knights are also incredibly impressive, with extraordinary speed. He concludes that most of them are probably gorillas too, just like Ilias. She then suggests they go in and warns him not to stray too far from her, to which all he can do is nod and reply with a hesitant yes. After entering the cave, he is left speechless upon seeing the knights swiftly slaughter the bandits. They are so overpowered that the bandits don't even stand a chance. Ilias commands the knights not to kill anyone who surrenders, but also not to hold back against those who try to escape. Following her orders, the knights move accordingly, sparing those who surrender and eliminating anyone who attempts to flee. Just then, a giant man steps out from a cave passage, and one of the bandits addresses him as their boss. Upon seeing the knights, the giant bandit trembles in fear before swinging his club at Ilias. However, she effortlessly stops the blow with her hand and asks if his massive body